Hello friends, my name is Real Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 6. Now, for those of you who have been paying attention to recent Forza news, you may know that a new car pack was released the other day. And one of the things contained in that car pack was this Cadillac XTS limousine. Now, it's very silly, as you can imagine, not quite as long as you would imagine. But yeah, it's just genuinely a very, very stupid car that has no place in Forza, but that's the reason I like it. Anyway, one thing I figured I would do, sorry, my English is completely dying today, is that I would go and take this vehicle and see if I can make it into an actual racing vehicle. Like, could you actually use this to go racing in with the right build? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be building up this Cadillac. I'm then going to be taking it onto free play to race against some equivalent vehicles to see how it will do. Now, the class that I've chosen this car to go into would be B class. Let's start by having a quick look at the engines we can swap into this. What's the stats on it at the moment? 9 seconds to 60, 145 miles an hour. It has 304 brake horsepower. That's not bad. It is front wheel drive though, which is kind of interesting. Right, so we're going to have a Mustang V8 in it, an Audi V10 in it, or a NASCAR engine in it. That makes it do 200 miles an hour. I'm not sure. We'll come back to engine swaps. What I do want to do, I want to put a supercharger on it in a minute. What I do want to do, though, is convert the drivetrain. Now, I'm not sure whether to go front four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. Rear-wheel drive does help to actually keep the weight down, however four-wheel drive will help us put the power on a bit easier. Let's have a rear-wheel drive limo and see how we do. Now, next thing I want to look at is how much weight is actually in this thing. Let's just go. How much we got? £5,000. Actually, that's not as bad as I thought it would be, and we can get it down to 4,496 with weight reduction, which is something we are going to want to do. Now, I'm not sure whether I should go with a roll cage or not. You see, the thing is with this limousine is, yes, while it's a fairly modern vehicle, it is quite long, and obviously long vehicles don't have quite the same rigidity as a shorter vehicle would, so I think we're going to go with a roll cage just to sort of keep it, basically to stop it flobbering about everywhere. We are going to get some race brakes and race suspension as well, just to help the car sort of put the power down. Tyres, yes. Do I want race tyres on this? They don't up the PI by that much. I'm going to see what tyre whips we can get on this first. 285s on the front. Is it going to be 285s on the back as well? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm going to do B-class build on this, I reckon. So, race tyres, yeah, let's have those. Why not? Right, next question. Will the engine still go in it? It will. Ooh, do I want an Audi V10? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because what else is there left to do? Other than maybe throw a gearbox in it. Do we want aero? That looks suitably silly. So does that. You know what? Screw it. We're having the Audi V10 in this. Probably better than the standard engine anyway. We could also supercharge it for 600 horsepower. We'll come back to that. Now, what does it think about us putting a wing on it? I think we might. Just to keep it planted to the ground. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Yeah, let's plant that to the ground. And let's put a racing gearbox in, which apparently doesn't affect the vehicle in any way. Okay, cool. And we'll want a differential in there as well, just to sort of keep everything grounded. Right. Anything else we want to do to this? Exhaust helps get quite a bit of the weight down actually on this vehicle, which is kind of useful. We'll do that as well, because that helps bring the weight down. Basically just doing what I can to bring the weight down at the moment. Interestingly, the actual figures aren't going up too much, which is kind of strange. I'm kind of concerned as to how this vehicle is actually going to handle now. Yeah, hopefully fingers crossed, this won't actually turn out nearly as bad as I'm expecting it to be. I'm expecting this vehicle to be horrible at the moment. But, I mean, we don't know. Right, yeah, we'd want to bring the gear ratios in quite a lot on this vehicle. I'm not quite sure what track we're going to go for, or go to for this yet. 4.488 seconds to 60, that's not bad. We're going to lower the ride height a little bit, just to, yeah, 4.5 seconds to 60. Yeah, it's not too bad. I don't really want to up that. I'm going to take this down slightly. I'm still not sure whether we definitely put race tyres on this, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Alright, unless there's anything else we can do to get some of the weight off on this, which by the looks of it there is. Can we also get that one on? We can. Alright, saving ourselves a couple of pounds. I think that's it for the Cadillac. So the question is, can this vehicle be used for actually racing? I'm not sure. I love it how it doesn't actually fit on that screen either. Excellent. Where do we want to go to race this? I'm thinking somewhere suitably silly. Hockenheim maybe? Lime Rock could be interesting. I'm trying to think. Bathurst. Yes. Yes, let's go to Bathurst with the limo, because why not? Let's have 23 drive tires. Yes, that all seems fine. How many laps do we want to do? 3 laps. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's go. Let's see how well this goes. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure. This could really go either way with the Cadillac. In case you're wondering, the reason I've actually used this vehicle from the DLC is because I've seen a lot of people messing around with the limo. However, that's mostly drift builds. I actually want to see if this vehicle can genuinely go racing and what it's actually like at racing. I'm still not sure if I should have swapped it to 4-wheel drive or not. But I mean, we'll have to see when we're on track. I'm hoping this goes well. I'm hoping this vehicle is actually quite nice to drive. It would be nice to see it be nice to drive. We've got some Aston Martin DBSs in this race. That's just wonderful. Right, let us go. In case you're new to my channel, if you are, hello. I run no assists other than manual and clutch. We are on the front of the grid. That's not really where I want it to be. If you don't mind, I'm just going to put back of the pack on. Or I think I can start in like 18th or something like that. Just basically so we can make it a little bit more challenging. Because if I start at the front of the pack, it's not really that challenging. Alright, where are the deer mods? Deer mods start in 22nd position. I think we could go a bit higher up than that maybe. Give this car a fighting chance. 18th sounds good to me. Alright, let's get back on track. I had a quick sneak preview with it, and the dashboard all looks quite nice. There's a bowler there, interesting. It sounds very nice as well. Jaguar XFRS, Corvette C4. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's see how well we do. There's that new Infiniti Q60 there as well. Okay, well, we're getting punted. I wasn't quite sure what the rest of... Okay, you can go around in a circle. Come on, Cadillac. How do you perform? Okay, so we're through the first corner. I haven't died yet, which is good. I'm not particularly good at building cars on Forza 6 at the moment. I don't actually know why, but for some reason everything I build just has really terrible straight line speed. We've only got 6 gears. Okay, that's cool to know. Because obviously here in Forza 6, vehicles have a lot more gears than they need to. I don't know if you've played around with the 2017 Raptor. That actually has 10 gears, I believe, which is kind of interesting. Also, actually, as a quick note, we're climbing up in the rankings quite a bit. As a quick note, I'm actually currently recording in sort of a different place to where I usually record. Moved rooms. So basically my old space was kind of confined, and this is wide open. I do have to admit I sound a lot more echoey at least from where I'm standing. However, listening to the actual videos and stuff, they don't sound too much different to what they did. So you'll have to tell me if you can actually notice anything different, and I'll try and sort it out. I don't know if there's much I can do, but we'll have to see. Anyway, onto the Cadillac. It's actually pretty decent to drive, I've got to be honest. I've driven like some properly built stuff, and yeah, it's strange. You can feel a little bit of that weight in it. However, it's not quite nearly as bad as you'd expect it to be. I was sort of expecting the rear end of it to sort of get I think that's from the start line kerfuffle. This does get damaged quite easily, apparently. But yeah, I was expecting to sort of really feel the big rear end on this, because you've got to bear in mind this vehicle is, well, it's definitely the longest thing in the game. That's a fact. I think the only thing that could really rival this in longness is probably the Maserati Gran Turismo, and I haven't played around with that yet. However, it feels like it's much shorter than it actually is. It is a really strange feel. He's going into the pits. Interesting. Okay. Coming up on a Dodge Viper now. As far as through the corners, it's not bad. The rear end does come out on it. You can hear it come out. But it's nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, the Cadillac is pretty damn good, which is good. Very good, in fact. Right. Let's try and catch this Viper. How well can we place? If we can get a first place, I will be amazed. We are actually slowly catching this Viper, which is kind of sweet. Yeah, I have no idea what this vehicle would be like to drive stock. I probably should have given it a go. I might actually try and give this a quick drive stock. I actually really want to throw this around the Top Gear test track. See what sort of time this vehicle can set. Of course, we haven't had too many lower class vehicles go round as of yet. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that was kind of interesting going on that corner. But yeah, seriously, I can't feel the rear end on this thing. I was seriously expecting this to just go horribly, horribly wrong, but I've actually built a fairly decent, competent car here. Which is, yeah, that's good for me, certainly. Ooh. Yeah, there's a little bit of understeer, but then again, I always feel understeer. I'm not particularly good at Bathurst either. The reason I chose this is because it's sort of tight and twisty. I thought if there'd be any silly issues with the Cadillac, then this is probably the track you guys would want to see, because this is where it would be suitably silly. However, it's good. Cadillac's good. I really like this car, actually. It's nice to drive. It's certainly something a bit different. I'm actually kind of curious to see how this will do online racing. I haven't driven much online on this game yet. I'm not really into online racing. It's kind of it's full of arses, and I much prefer the single player stuff in racing games. But yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see how this will. Notice it's running out of fuel quite a lot faster than I'd expect it to be as well. Don't use the Cadillac for endurance racing, because it definitely won't be good. Brakes are pretty damn good on this as well. To say it weighs 4,500 pounds, which is a pretty decent amount actually. It's not bad. I was really expecting this thing to weigh a lot more than it does. I mean, from stock it's only 5,500 pounds, I think, 5,500 pounds. Which is about the same as a Bentley Continental GT, which is interesting enough. Also, people down in the comment section below, please do me a favour. Can you actually tell me sort of where this limo is from? Is this just a sort of random limo they've just picked to throw in the game, or does this limo actually have any purpose? Because I do have to admit, when I first heard Cadillac limo, I was thinking like the presidential Cadillac limo, the bulletproof one that can only do 60 miles an hour. That would be a hell of a lot of fun in this game. But yeah, this one's kind of fun as well. Ooh, some understeer going into there. There is some understeer, there is a little bit of oversteer, but it's nowhere near as bad as the last car I drove on this game, which was a Ferrari California T. I didn't like the way that car drove at all. A Cadillac limo drives better than a Ferrari. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to say that. Speaking of Cadillacs, we're actually catching up to the CTS-V Coupe. I don't know if we'll be able to get a podium, unless, well, he's gone wide. Okay, we might get a podium. I'm surprised the Cadillac's out front. I haven't really tinkered about with the CTS-V at the moment. CTS-V Coupe's kind of a weird car. I prefer the big one. I would kind of like to see the, is it the ATS-V, which is the new super saloon Cadillac. I actually kind of like the look of that car. So it'd be interesting to have that in Forza, maybe compare it to the Jaguar XKRS. Yeah, this is by far the best sounding limo in the world, probably the best to drive limo in the world as well. I cannot imagine limos are very nice to drive. Gonna be perfectly honest with you. I can imagine they're a little bit difficult. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of things to say on this vehicle. It's relatively nice to drive, so yeah, good car overall. I've actually built something good, unintentionally. This is actually probably better than the other B-Class cars I've built. I built a 155 Alpha, that's sort of what I kind of use for B-Class at the moment. It's got no power in it whatsoever. It's a really, really nice handling vehicle, but it's got no power. Yeah, this is good. And we are going to actually get third place, which is podium finish for the Cadillac. All of these things I wasn't supposed to say when I started planning this today. That was supposed to be more silly than it was. So to answer the question I asked at the start of the video, can the Cadillac be used for racing? Yeah, you can use a limousine for racing and it's perfectly happy with it. It's actually not a bad car. So yeah, anyway, tell me if you're surprised in the comment section below. Also tell me if you're going to go and race build a limo and how you actually built your race built limo. But that's it from me, friends. I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name has been TheRealEmile. Until next time, farewell.